We are really close to Tract 24 at Fiery Fork Ridge. We're on the private gravel easement road. You can actually see a couple piles of gravel. Those are going to be spread. Let me pull up a little bit. Those are going to be spread on this trail here. And that's the trail that leads down to the private access on the Niangara River, the Little Niangara River, which is only for property owners and their guests. Now, Tract 24 does have actual frontage on the Niangara River, but because of the topography of the land, it's a pretty steep hike to get down to the water. So if you don't want to mess with that, you can just walk right up the road here and take the trail down to the river, and there's a huge access point. Okay, so that's Tract 22 on the right. And as we start to open up into this field, there's another marker. That's Tract 23 on the right. You can see a pile of trees. That's not from logging. That's from this road being cleared. Tract 23 on the right. And even though that sign is right by that T-posts, we're coming on to Tract 24. So that's the marker for Tract 24. You can see it on the right here. Okay. I'm going to leave my truck running because it gave me a problem at the grocery store earlier today, and I don't want to have to mess with it. So I'm sorry if that's a little loud. So that's Tract 24, of course. Beautiful open meadow on the east side. There's looking north. The gravel guys stopped the road a little short. I don't know if that's going to be changed immediately or not, but it's still a very easy drive to Tract 24. You can get here in any kind of car or truck. So it's flat here on the east side. Gives you a great opportunity to come right off the road and camp or build or park or whatnot. Or if you want some more privacy, all you have to do is venture back into the mature timber and you've got it. And this is great timber. I mean, this is nice stuff. This is still flat. I mean, this would only take a couple hours with the chainsaw to clear out a big enough site to build or pull your RV or whatnot. And you'll see as we get a little further to the west, it does drop off. Big tree. It gets steep. I don't know if I'd call it a cliff. I don't know if I'd call it a sheer drop, but it's pretty close. I have gone down it. I have walked down it. It took me quite a while to pick my way down, going from tree to tree. And there actually are a couple sections that there are big boulders and it's like a sheer drop. But I was able to pick my way down. In the future, I would probably just go down that easement trail we just talked about and just passed as a preferable way to get to the water. Now, the guys haven't done any chainsaw work, any clearing out here, other than the road contractors. What we would commonly do on a property like this is we would spend about a half a day and probably cut a dozen, 2 dozen of these smaller trees, and it would open up a stellar view. I mean, you can only get a hint of it right now. Once the leaves are off the trees, you'll be able to see better what I'm talking about. But and a lot of people would prefer the trees to the view, and that's fine. That's why we didn't do it on this property. But I can tell you right now, from seeing the little hint of the view I can see, this would be gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful west view of the Ozarks. The river's at the base. You can see that whole river valley. You'll see a huge rolling hayfield on the other side of the river, as well as flat areas and cliffs and hills and valleys. Oh, it's gorgeous. Just the little bit I can see, I know what this is going to look like in about 2 weeks when all these leaves change color. It's going to be an undescribable view. But again, if you prefer the trees, we left you that option. But if you would rather have your coffee and look at this view in the morning, that could be done as well. I'm kind of a view guy, so this is a special property to me. When you add that to the fact that this has direct river frontage on the Little Niangua River, which is a major popular river for fishing and floating. This has direct frontage, but this east side is high and dry, so you're completely out of any flood zone. You can build what you like without having to worry about flood insurance and hassling with that. Not an issue on the east side. We're only 10 miles out of Camdenton, 10 miles out of Lake of the Ozarks, closer by the river. Actually, if you were to put your kayak or whatever in the river at the property and float down river, I think 3 or 4 miles, you're in the Lake of the Ozarks, because this is one of the major rivers that forms the Lake of the Ozarks. So kind of something for everybody to do. The kids can take the trail down to the private access area. It's private, it's only for property owners, it's not public access. And they can mess around in the water and swim. It's wide and clear, great for swimming, or it has been every time we've used it. Popular for fishing, but it's also a low traffic area, so you don't have a steady stream of canoes and floaters coming by. You see a few, mostly local people. Beautiful property. I really can't think of a better place to build your own small cabin or park your RV and have it for a vacation spot or a permanent home. It's just gorgeous out here. That's tract 24 at Fiery Fork Ridge.